A better route. Chapter 124. Naruto couldn't have been more eager as he opened the box Tenten had just given them. So they're finally done? Tenten rolled her eyes. No, I decided to come and give you an empty box. Of course they're done. Tenten had just come from her parents' shop because, just as she had predicted, her father had been very eager to finish Naruto's new kunai. After all, there wasn't many people who didn't want a second coming of the Yellow Flash. She'd easily found Naruto and Hinata training together at the same spot they'd been training for the past 2.5 weeks. Naruto picked up one of the three-pronged kunai and looked it over. Now all I've gotta do is put the right seals on them. Tenten was confused on something. Why didn't you just have used draw the seals on there? Naruto didn't want to offend them. Not just anyone can put the seals on these. One of the hardest things about learning how to complete this technique is getting the seal right. It has to perfect. Tenten understood. Yeah, we're decent with seals, but I don't know if we're that good. Naruto put the kunai back in the box. That's a ton. Tenten. I'm gonna go and start getting them ready. Tell your dad I said thanks too. Tenten nodded. Sure thing, good luck. Hinata saw Tenten leave and asked Naruto, is it okay if I go off and train on my own for a bit? I'm really close to finishing my stuff with the twin lion fist and I need to focus. Naruto gave her a little kiss on the cheek. Of course, I need to focus too, so it's probably better for both of us. See you in a bit. Fu stood in front of Asuma with a big grin on her face. She'd been training with Asuma for almost 3 weeks now and he wanted to see her progress, so do you want me to show you what I can really do, huh? Asuma loved the girl's confidence. Yup, I want you to use the flying swallow and the other jutsus I showed you. If you've gotten far enough with them, then we'll start to combine them with that wing thing you can do. Fu laughed. Wing thing, that's what you call my Jinchuriki cloak? Asuma sighed. Just start with the jutsus already. Fu grew out the 2 exoskeleton blades on her hands and activated the flying swallow. She rushed at the dummies Asuma had set up and sliced through 3 of the dummies like they were butter. Then she channeled some chakra into the palms of and turned to another dummy, slicing air palms. Dozens of cuts appeared on the dummies, some deep, others kind of small. Fu started to make some hand seals and turned towards a row of 4 dummies, wind cutter technique. A massive gust shot from Fu's mouth and cut the 4 dummies in half. To finish everything off, she made her final hand seals and slammed her hands into the ground. Great air repulsion. All of the leftover pieces of the dummies flew away from her as a great gust of uproar of wind surrounded her. Asuma was very impressed. Nice job, Fu. You really did a good job with all these wind techniques. Fu once again grinned in pride. Thanks, I've been working pretty damn hard to get them down. Asuma could tell she was ready. You're definitely good to start adding this stuff to your wing, I mean Jinchuriki cloak. Fu playfully punched him in the arm. I knew you could get it. Can we start tomorrow? I've gotta go and visit Shino-kun for a while. Asuma couldn't say no to that. Of course, just don't be out too. I want you out here first thing in the morning. We've gotta make sure you stay in good shape. Fu winked. Don't worry, Shino-kun is gonna give me a great workout tonight. Asuma couldn't stop himself from laughing hysterically as she ran off to go see Shino. That girl really was a wild one. Hinata's lion fist bullet, which is what she'd decided to name if it after she'd made the adjustments to it, ended up having to be executed much differently than Niji's vacuum palms. She'd figured out you had to add a little more chakra to the lion fists and then make a kind of shell around the lions. Once she did that, she launched lions at her targets, and when it hit a shinobi it would turn of the chakra points that were near wherever it landed. Niji had helped her adjust it so that it would turn of chakra points after she'd first finished it, and now the only thing Hinata had to do before she considered it finished was get it to launch just a little bit farther before it collapsed. She may have gotten it to go much farther, but it still didn't go as far as she would have liked it to. Hinata had been doing the math and she was pretty sure that with these last few adjustments she made she would finally get it to go for 50 yards. That's how far Niji could make his vacuum palm go, so that's what she was going to go for with her bullet. She raised up her hand and started to create her lion fist and thrusted her arm out towards the target she'd set up. Lion fist bullet. The bullet launched from the palm of her hand and it flew towards the target. Hinata watched breathlessly as it came closer and closer to the target. It finally hit the target and shattered it completely. Hinata jumped up in the air and screamed, "Yes. Anyone who said I couldn't do it can suck it." She covered her mouth when she realized what she said. Thank God no one was around to hear that. It took a lot to really impress Guy and Lee, but Mito had really pulled it off. In just a span of almost 3 weeks she'd managed to open 5 of the gates and was on the verge of opening the 6th gate. To be able to learn how to open the gates that quickly was unheard of. Guy was pretty amazed. Lady Mito, your flames of youth burn as brightly as Lee and I's do. Mito just had to ask, are flames of youth all you two ever talk about? Guy and Lee looked at each other and said at the same time, yes. Mito didn't know how to respond to that. Well, okay then. So I've got some questions about the 8th gate if you don't mind. Guy was happy to answer any questions, of course. What do you need to know? Mito had been thinking about this for a while. If I were to use some of my healing abilities when I use the 8th gate, do you think there's any chance I could survive it? Guy thought it over. If you're anywhere near as skilled as your mother, then I think it's very possible. Are you planning something like that? Mito smirked mischievously. Just something, an idea I've got running around my head. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll see it before the war's over. Guy hated waiting, go figure, but he had too much work to do to try and push the issue. Whatever you say, Lady Mito. Now, let's return to our youthful training. Naruto was so close to finishing the Flying Thunder God he could almost taste it. He'd finished putting the seals on all of the kunai and now all he really needed to do was try and use it. Of course he knew that wasn't going to be easy, so he decided to ask a friend for a little advice. Hey Kurama, I have no idea if you'll know anything about this stuff, but I figured since you spent so much time with my mom you might have picked up some stuff about the Flying Thunder God stuff. Kurama broke the bad news to him. Sorry kid, but I don't know shit about that stuff. I kind of tuned it out whenever the two of them started talking about that stuff. Naruto grumbled, couldn't make it easy on me, could you? Kurama defended himself. To be fair, I happen to find seals to be incredibly boring. Naruto suggested, maybe if you'd paid attention you could have found a way to undo the seal they put on you. Kurama rolled his eyes. Yeah right, no way in hell was I trying to understand an Uzumaki level seal. Now they're chakra chains, that was some cool shit. If they'd been talking about those I would have been listening. Naruto made a note of that. We can worry about those later. Are you sure you can't give me any tips for how to do this right? Kurama thought about it. Don't I? Naruto smacked his forehead. Thanks for that brilliance. Guess I'm just gonna have to do this on my own. He picked up one of the kunais and threw it at a tree that was about 30 feet away. No too far away, since he want to start out small. According to the scroll, Naruto was about to enter a dimensional void, and frankly that scared the ever-living crap out of him. Still, he knew he had to try and use this jutsu, so he wasn't going to let his fear get to him. Taking a deep breath, Naruto made his first attempt at the technique. Before he even knew what was going on, he found himself smashing face first into the tree he'd thrown the kunai at. He hit the ground and rubbed his head. Well, that hurt like hell. Wait, I did it. I freaking did it. I used the Flying Thunder God. Woohoo! Kurama joked. True, but you only went 30 feet and you smashed up your face pretty damn well. Naruto gave his foxy grin. Hey, it's a start. I've still got like a week to perfect using it. I don't think I'll be at my dad's or Tobirama's level, but it's still gonna be a great weapon to have during the war. Kurama had to agree, it is one of the most feared jutsus in the ninja world for a reason. Just keep in mind how much chakra you use up when you travel long distances. I might give you a lot of chakra, but even I have my limits. Naruto hadn't thought about that. Guess I'd better be really careful about picking and choosing when I use it. Kurama was glad he got the point. Oh yeah, you've gotta be damn careful kit. He paused slightly. Naruto, I've got something important to talk to you about. That caught Naruto's attention. Kurama almost never used his name. Okay Kurama, what is it? Kurama didn't know how to say this. Once this war is all over, what is that going to mean for my siblings and I? Naruto didn't understand. What do you mean? Kurama explained. Once all of us are safe, what do you intend to do with us? Will we just continue to be sealed inside of humans? Will we be allowed to roam free? Hell, how do I know your fellow humans won't want to use us as weapons again? Naruto really didn't have an answer for him. I'm not gonna lie to Kurama, I don't have any idea what's going to happen to you. However, I do promise you one thing. I will do everything in my power to make sure that you and your brothers and sisters are happy with where you end up. Kurama was actually rather comforted by that. Thank you Naruto, I really don't think I can ask much more of you. This means a lot to me and my siblings. Naruto responded, it will be my pleasure buddy. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got to get back to training. I can't help you and your sibling if I'm not strong enough to now. Can I see you in the next one?